If your mind has been racing, spiraling, or replaying the same thoughts over and over, this video is for you. Anxiety doesn't just make you feel overwhelmed, it hijacks your brain's actual wiring. Let me explain why this happens and how you can gain control over your mind. When you're anxious, your brain shifts into survival mode. Literally. Like your brain actually shifts into that mode. One of the most well-studied findings in neuroscience is that when you feel unsafe, the amygdala, the fear center in your brain, becomes hyperactive. It takes over. While your prefrontal cortex, your logical decision-making mind, cuts off. It goes offline. In simple terms, your emotional brain takes the wheel and your thinking brain goes in the back seat. This is why you overthink everything. You imagine the worst case scenario. You can't make decisions and you feel stuck, like you're in this mental spiral, and then you get trapped in the what if loop. Your brain isn't failing you, it's just protecting you. You're focused on how you feel and running from bad feelings and what could happen rather than taking action from a place of acceptance, from a place of detaching from the outcome. You're assuming and having expectations for the future that hasn't happened yet. When the survival system activates, your brain starts to run off of old programmings and simulations. It's no longer based off of logic. Remember, that part has went offline. And you have no control over this. You start to question yourself. You think, what if things do go wrong? How do I avoid this danger? What if my choice ruins everything? How can I avoid the hurt that could happen? It feels like it's inevitable. Again, we start going down this what if spiral and start thinking about worst case scenarios. Because when it feels too safe and feels too good, we're not used to it. So we're seeking chaos. We're seeking things to prove our mind right. So we're going to seek out that chaos. Studies from Harvard show that the brain treats uncertainty like a threat. The more uncertain your life feels, the louder your mind will become. This is especially true for empathetic, intuitive, and neurodivergent people. Your pattern recognition skills are strong, and that's great. It's a superpower. But it also means that your anxious brain will run more scenarios based off of that information. Your mind and body remembers past events, stories you heard, things you've watched. These trigger emotions that will heighten your fear response. Again, this is something that you can't necessarily control in the moment because your brain automatically goes to that. You're not coming from a logical place. This is a classic case of anxiety, and it's important to note that one, I'm not a doctor. I share this information because I deal with it and have dealt with it before. I'm passionate about it as well, and I want to help people. And two, I'm going to be sharing some screenshots of science-backed research and other information to dive deeper into what anxiety actually is so that you can reference it for yourself. And if you've been dealing with this for 6 months or more consistently, then you should definitely seek out help, contact a doctor about this, and remember to never be ashamed of asking for or receiving help. I've just dealt with this for so long that I've read research, I've listened to the videos and the podcasts and read the books and everything, and I've worked on myself enough to know what works for me, and I want to share that information. And it just so happens that it is all science-backed, and I share these on all my videos on this YouTube channel, so go ahead and subscribe if you are new here. I know what it's like to live with that constant mental noise. There was a season where my mind just would not shut off. I'd walk around feeling like I was physically present, but mentally, I was just checked out. I wasn't there, and I couldn't be there. For some reason, I just couldn't experience it. I couldn't enjoy it. I would walk around with a smile on my face, feeling like I was wearing the mask. But underneath, I just couldn't figure out what was happening. I would replay conversations. I would imagine problems that hadn't happened. I would catastrophize and think about my future. And it just felt like everything around me was out of control. And I was trying to control those things. And I didn't feel that control inside, which was the issue. As within, so without, as they say. So if I don't have it inside, it's not going to happen outside. I thought I wasn't strong enough or disciplined enough. And as someone who obviously is into personal development and everything like that, that was really hard, that I was trying so much but getting nowhere. But what was actually happening was that my nervous system was in survival mode, and my brain was working overtime trying to protect me from things that weren't happening anymore. I, as a logical person, was trying to figure it all out, but my brain would shut off during certain situations because that amygdala, that fear center, would take over. So in those situations, I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't help it. Or I felt like I couldn't help it. It was hypervigilance and catastrophizing that made relationships hard. It made me a target for those quick fix things as well because I wanted to get it done so I could move on to the next thing. But anything in personal development, anything worthwhile, there is no quick fix for it. This is a personal development journey. It's going to take time. It is worth it though. Once I understood that it was the way that my brain was wired and not who I truly am, then I stopped fighting my brain and started supporting it. That's when everything shifted. I stopped trying to logically figure it all out. And I learned that you can rewire your brain and also enhance your cognitive abilities. Yes, some things are the way they are. Not everybody's the same. You have to work for it either way. But you can support your brain and learn how to work with those emotions. These are things that you can develop. Most people can heal themselves to a certain degree. We can calm those thoughts and move with more ease and less stress. I believe that this is more of a lifestyle change that needs to be had, which is why I'm going to share these methods on how you can actually calm your mind. These are backed by neuroscience, and these are not just random advice. Like I said, I've experienced this myself. I've tried these things out on myself. I like to be efficient, so I've learned what, 80-20. What's the 20% I can do to get 80% results? And I experiment with all the things to learn that, to figure it out. Here are my top 5 suggestions, science-backed suggestions to reduce anxiety and stress. Number 1 is going to be to get out of your head and into your body for at least 10 seconds. Get out of your head and into your body. Studies from Stanford show that intentional exhales deactivate the amygdala, deactivate that fear center. One hand on your chest and one on your stomach. Breathe out twice as long as you breathe in. As you can see, I'm blowing out as if I'm blowing out of a straw. This is going to tell your brain that you're safe enough to stop scanning for danger. Because when you're anxious, your heart rate goes up, right? Because you're breathing more. You may not notice it, but your heart rate's going to get higher. And so if we can calm that down, we can calm our mind down. Number 2 is to reduce your decision load. Research from the University of Minnesota shows that decision fatigue increases anxiety and impulsivity. Pick one next step, not 5. Your brain relaxes when it knows the direction. But when you have 5 choices, you're giving it too many choices and decisions to make. So if we narrow that down, it will help you. Yes, you can multitask, but it's better if we just pick one for now. Step 3 is to label the emotion. The UCLA Name It to Tame It study says, as simple as naming the emotion will reduce your amygdala activity. So you want to say, I feel anxious, I feel overwhelmed, I feel tense. You don't want to identify as the emotion or the thing that's happening, but we want to name it. Your brain calms down because it feels seen. Naming it is like if you put your eyes on something and you say, I see you. That brings it out of the shadows and it can no longer hide there. So you see what that thing actually is. It's not just some sound in the dark. You actually pull it out and it's just a little mouse. Step 4 is to move your body. Movement burns excess cortisol, which is the stress hormone, and that builds up in your body and creates a load on you. Again, this is why when you wake up after a long sleep and you still feel tired, why? Because you still have a lot of cortisol built up in your body. We can move our body by walking, by stretching. Movement helps you release the stress faster than just thinking about the things. Again, we want to get out of our mind and into our body. Step 5 will be to shrink the moment. An anxious brain exaggerates everything. You want to bring it back to now, back to center. What is actually happening? Not what I'm imagining or what could happen. What is actually happening in this moment? This pulls you out of the future and back into reality. Again, anxiety is worrying about the future. Depression is worrying about the past. We want to come back to center. This is a form of acceptance and allowing, not controlling or resisting. Your brain isn't sabotaging you. It's protecting the old version of you. A version that had to be on high alert to survive. You just learned that, and it's nothing on you. It is okay to let that go now. Give yourself that permission. I want you to pause for a moment and remember that you're not in that place anymore. You're not helpless or hopeless. These are just stories that may have been true in the past, but you've proven to yourself because you're here right now, you're watching this video, you're working on these things, that you are capable, that you can continue on, that you are resilient. You're still here right now. It may look messy. It may be uncomfortable. It may not look so pretty right now and you're not sure how it will work out. And that uncertainty over prolonged periods of time will activate your nervous system and lead to alloastic load. I've talked about this before. It's long-term wear and tear on your body and mind. And research does say that this does link to anxiety disorders, depression, memory impairment, and other health issues. If you stay in that mindset of focusing on the messiness and what it was, then we won't go any further. But again, if this has continued for over 6 months and it's consistent, it's chronic, and you're not able to help it and it's affecting a lot of areas of your life, definitely consult a doctor. From what I've experienced and what I've seen, this has more to do with a lifestyle issue for those that it's not so chronic for. This is because we like to think of all these symptoms as separate things, and we look at this whole list of things wrong with us and we identify with them, we put that with the messiness of our life, when it could just be symptoms of the mental and emotional overload that you've had for so long. You've just lived in that for so long. You just need to practice rewiring and reprogramming your mind to feel safe again. And then we can start incorporating new habits to work on these other things. Go ahead and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any other videos that are like this. Before you scroll or click on another video, just know that you're not broken. You're just overloaded. Once you give your mind and body safety, that stress will reduce. A lot of those other symptoms will start to reduce. And then you'll be able to know when there is a real threat. And you know when to accept not knowing and go without all the mental gymnastics. The thing is, once you work on these things and you build that mental capacity and you're able to do this other stuff, then you can handle what comes at you so that you don't have to be so hyper vigilant. And if this hits home for you, you're going to want to stick around, because these next few posts, I'm going to break down how you can reprogram your nervous system and how you can prepare for next year. And this is going to be a journey into a new lifestyle. So if you're ready to become someone new, stick around and get ready to move your body, eat some good food, and try new things. Next year is going to be one of elevation. And I'm on this journey with you as well, because like I said, this is a lifestyle. So I'm going to be sharing more of my lifestyle and what has helped me. And this is science-backed information. And if you're into it, subscribe, hit the notification button, and share this video and like it. But share this video with someone that you think may be hitting burnout right now, or their mind's going into overdrive. You can feel peace and safe at home in yourself again. This is about a journey of remembering. And you can start today by loving on yourself more. I'm talking about physical stimulation, true rest, self-acceptance on a deep level. You don't need someone else's validation. I'm talking about from within. And as always, before you go out into the world, remember to continue to shine on. You never know who might see your light shining, and it may make a big impact on our life. So continue to shine on.